Welcome to the Health by Haven podcast. I'm your host, Haven Quinlan. If you're a multi-passionate wellness enthusiast, then you're in the right place. I'm obsessed with learning as much as I can about the wellness world, and I want to share that with you. Each episode will dive into various aspects of health and wellness through inspiring and informative guest interviews with some solo episodes thrown in. Tune in for all things health, and let's have some fun, shall we? Feeling overwhelmed, exhausted, or out of balance despite doing all the right things? Foundation of Stone Pediatric and Perinatal Family Chiropractic in Knoxville, Tennessee focuses on nervous system-based care for women, moms-to-be, and families. Learn more at tnkidschiro.com. Welcome back to the Health by Haven podcast. Today is a conversation with Shannon Livesey, owner of Avodah Massage Therapy in Columbia and Lexington, South Carolina. Shannon was on episode 63 of the podcast discussing massage therapy and nervous system regulation. And today she's back to break down craniosacral fascial therapy, or CFT. We discuss what the heck it is, who may benefit from a session, CFT for infants, kids, and adults, CFT for athletes, and so much more. Shannon and Avodah are big partners of the Health by Haven podcast, and we're so grateful for their support. Avodah is such an incredible space in the Columbia community, and I absolutely adore Shannon and Avodah's mission to help children and adults live happy, pain-free, and regulated lives. I could sing her praises all day to you guys, seriously, but without further ado, let's get into today's episode with Shannon. Shannon, thank you so much for coming back on the Health by Haven podcast. I'm so excited to get to chat, especially about CFT with you today.
Same. I'm so excited.
So for listeners who may not know, Shannon was on the podcast before. And so definitely go back and listen to her first episode. You get a really good overview of a little bit of everything that she does as far as working with clients, especially on nervous system regulation. But today we're going to focus on CFT and what that is. But Shannon, for people who maybe haven't listened to that episode yet, which by the way, go back and listen to it. But if someone's listening today, they haven't heard the first one, can you give us just a quick little intro of you, Avodah, what you do?
Yeah, I'm Shannon Livesey. I am a licensed massage therapist. I also specialize in pediatric, prenatal, and CFT, or craniosacral fascial therapy, which we're talking about today. I am the owner and founder of Avodah Massage Therapy, based in Columbia and Lexington, South Carolina. And yeah, it's just born of a vision to really help and serve and kind of be the village for people.
I love that. We love a good, strong community type of business. And you guys certainly do that at Avodah. I see your fun little events all the time. And Mother's Day package, for instance, I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I was in Columbia so I could come do this. It looks like so much fun. So I love that. And, Avodah is a big supporter of the podcast. You guys know that if you've been listening along and you hear them have some ads on the show. And I just could not be happier to be supporting them as well. So anyways, thank you for joining us again. Let's get right into it, shall we? If someone's listening and they're literally, what the heck is CFT? I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Can you give us a 101?
Yeah, so craniosacral fascial therapy, it's founded by Dr. Barry Gillespie. And basically it's a blend of a couple modalities. So something that people have probably heard more about is craniosacral therapy, or CST, and myofascial release. So CFT is a combining of both of those works. So craniosacral therapy and myofascial release, which is why you get craniosacral fascial therapy. And also some kind of dental work that Dr. Gillespie wove into it because he's a periodontist. But yeah, it's basically the blending of those modalities plus some things that he did himself to create kind of a full body type of practice.
Okay. Can I dumb it down even more? Talk to
Yeah,
us like we're five.
absolutely.
Can we break down even more like those specific parts that he blended, right? Like craniosacral
Mhm.
therapy, myofascial release. If people are like, I still don't know what that means, can we break that down too?
Absolutely. So craniosacral therapy is working in the craniosacral system. So that is basically your nervous system and how it kind of branches out into your body. So your cranium or your head, your sacrum or sacrum, and works in kind of like the nervous system field. So that's very craniosacral therapy works with like moving the bones of your skull to help your nervous system flow better. And then myofascial release is working with your fascia, doing specific points in the body to release your fascia. So it's more like tissue muscle based. So what he did was he brought those two together to create a nervous system and a muscular system, whole system type of therapy.
Okay, I love
Is
it.
that
That's super helpful. I love the
yeah.
breakdown. Really fascinating that it's like skeletal and muscular system at the same time.
Well, nervous system and
Nervous
muscular.
system.
Yes.
Yes. How is it different? Like, say you're like, I'm going to sign up for a CFT session. Like, I want this type
Mhm.
of massage specifically. If someone's not super experienced in going to get a massage, they go like every once in a blue moon and they're just like, I don't know, I'm stressed, like help.
Mhm.
What's the difference? Like, what does it look like when you go and specifically get a CFT focus session?
So it is vastly different from massage. I have like a little message that I send out to clients that like kind of prepares them for the session. And then I kind of deep dive a little bit into what we're going to get to into before they start a session, just because it is so different. It's like worlds apart. Like if you're like expecting a massage, that is exactly not what it is. So, kind of what I tell clients before we get started is it's a very gentle modality. It's done fully clothed, so there's no undressing. It isn't restricted to like a certain positioning. So, a lot of times with massages, you have to position people in a certain way, either to like keep the spine aligned um, or to like help you reach certain muscles. There is some movement in it, but it's a lot of passive movement. I mean, sometimes you can have active movement, but typically it's a lot of passive movement. It's a lot of the practitioner working on the client. With CFT, it's a lot of enabling the client to kind of guide you where they need to go. So I tell clients gentle, fully dressed. Positioning is not going to be like massage positioning. Like we'll probably start lying face up, but sometimes clients want to sit up. Sometimes they want to go to like a full forward bend. It's kind of crazy when you look at it. It's kind of like you're like leading somebody through some like weird aerobics. But yeah, and then I let them know like, hey, like if you feel like you need to move, feel free to move. Because what I'm doing is I am just intentionally sitting with them in those connecting those two systems together, and then letting them their body guide me to where it wants to unwind. And the way I do that is through kind of different testing. So like I might gently see it at the beginning if they want to move one way, and if it feels like a roadblock, we're going to stop, and then we'll try the other way, and if it feels more fluid, that's the way we're going to go. So a lot of times people are like, whoa, how did you move my neck like that? And I'm like, really, honestly, that was you. Like I'm not forcing anything. I'm not trying to like move your neck in a certain way. It's definitely where the body wants to go, and I'm just allowing it space to move that way. So yeah, very gentle, very intentional, client led, super not like a massage at all. Like there's no like tissue rubbing or anything. Like there might be places and points where the myofascial therapy comes in, where you're holding and just kind of sinking in. And that's to like let those restrictions go, but you're still working in that nervous system so that that release can be complete.
Okay, obviously you have training, but for me, I'm like, if
Yeah.
I was to ever try to lead one of these, like it sounds so complex. Like, how do you like intuitively feel that with clients? Like, oh, they might like they have more flow this direction versus
Mm-hmm.
that direction. What does that look like?
So it's a lot of, and you kind of learn this as a massage therapist, or like even a body worker. It's a lot of like listening with your hands. So, and you can kind of feel this in your own body. Like, for example, if you're doing a lift and like something feels off or like restricted, you're not going to push past that because you know you're going to get pain or discomfort.
Mm.
So, what I'm doing is I'm listening for that. Oh, is this a wall that the client's body has? So, like, is this kind of like an area that the body, like, if I forced it, it's going to hurt or it's going
Mm.
to be uncomfortable? Or does it feel more fluid, like you're able to go fully through that motion and it's not going to be something that's super discomforting or like restricted or anything like that? So, yeah, you kind of learn how to feel people's restrictions. It kind of like the best way I could describe it is it's like hitting a wall and you're like,
Mm.
okay, we're not going past that wall. We're just gonna go the other way and go where the body's like, yeah, I can freely move like that. That's the way that I want to move. So it's kind of hard because it's hard to like tell someone how you listen to someone's body.
Yeah.
But yeah, the best way I could describe it is like feeling for walls.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I think people listening
Mm-hmm.
could relate to like, yeah, if you're like heavy lifting or something and you're like, oh, like I can't go above shoulder height or it starts to feel like tension or something. I think that helps people
Mm-hmm.
picture it. Like for me, I'm imagining when I'm teaching a bar class at the end, when I'm like stretching someone, like hands on stretching them, and I start to like fold them forward or something for like a hamstring stretch, I can kind of feel like when they start to have resistance, where I'm obviously not going to like
Yeah.
smash them in half and pull their hamstrings. So that's probably
Yes.
like the closest thing I can personally relate to that. But that's helpful to know because it seems like magic. I don't know.
I know. And it's really funny that you say that because every single time I incorporate it into like a lot of massages that I do too, especially if like I feel like someone needs it. But I have a lot of clients come out of it. They're like, what's the magic neck thing that you did?
They're like, do
And I'm
that
like, oh my
again.
gosh, that felt like magic. And I'm like, I mean, if you think about it a little bit, it kind of feels like it. Like this
Yeah.
like magic wand that you can like wave over people and be like, oh my gosh, that feels so much better. I mean, it's not obviously magic, but I feel like it's kind of like the closest you can get.
I mean, maybe it is magic. Maybe you went to Hogwarts and you're just keeping that from us.
Maybe I did. I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, geez. Okay, so who would maybe benefit from a CFT session if they're listening and they're like, wait, I'm really curious about this. Like, I want to know what that's like to be a client in the session. What are some
Mhm.
indicators if you hear someone's dealing with XYZ that they might be a good candidate for getting a CFT session?
Yeah, so a lot of clients that I work with, they have been dealing with a chronic pain that can't be solved by anything else.
Mm.
So, for example, I have people coming in with like nerve pain from surgeries that they just can't get over, or like a mysterious shoulder pain that like they've been to the doctor, they've been to PT, everyone's like, oh, your shoulder looks wonderful, and they're like, but something's wrong, like I can't, like I have so many restrictions with it, or it's painful, or I don't have the range of motion. um or like people who have had really bad emotional trauma or PTSD from like, I get a lot of military service members just because we're located really close to Fort Jackson. So people like that who are just like, I can't get out of this fight or flight
Mm.
type of response to things, or people who are dealing with like anxiety. So it's a very wide range. I personally think that everybody could benefit from at least one CFT session. Even if you're like, I feel fine, like anyone can benefit from it. It's honestly the receiving it, that's the deepest relaxation that I have ever felt. And honestly, my feedback from clients are always like, that's like the deepest I've ever been able to relax. So, especially in our very like high strung, high energy, go, go, go type of society, I feel like everybody could benefit from like some really, truly deep relaxation in their lives.
I was about to say, like, it sounds like we could all use that. Like, take a deep
Mm-hmm.
breath, take a pause for a minute. Like, whether, like
Yeah.
you said, whether your like stress is showing up as chronic pain or it's showing up as anxiety or whatever, or like racing mind, it sounds like this could be a really good tool in people's toolbox to help kind of reset.
Oh yeah, and it's really great for kids and babies.
Mm.
I do CFT. Well, I do CFT on my own kids too, but I do CFT for babies and kids, and a lot of them, it's they have either like oral restrictions or their body is just super tense, and it's showing up in maybe like adverse behaviors, or they can't calm down their bodies, or they have like high or low tone of their muscles. So like either their muscles aren't engaging very well,
Mm.
or their muscles are always engaged. So yeah, and a lot of kids like hold these tensions, but then they show up as behaviors, like
Mm.
because they don't know how to express or regulate how they're feeling. So a kid who's like super angry all the time, they might be feeling really, really tight and uncomfortable in their body. And we can get them to really like relax and let that go with CFT. And actually during my training, and this is what like super convinced me. So the first couple of days, the first 3 days, we were working like on adults. And then the next 3 days, we're working with babies, and a couple toddlers were there too. And this one toddler is really what convinced me that like CFT was super real. Cause like adults, we can like fake it,
Yeah.
like we're really good at being like, oh yeah, I feel great. I feel wonderful. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye. Even if like it didn't really do anything. But there was this one kid, and he came in and he was like screaming, running away, aggressive, hitting, like very, very angry.
Mm.
And he did, I think, 3 or 4 sessions over the course of like a couple days, because we had them like back to back and back. Because it was a very hands-on session for those times that we were working with the infants and toddlers. And by the time we were done with this one kid, he was sleeping more easily. He was going to the bathroom more easily. He was a lot calmer. He was fine with longer instances of touch. Like he wasn't fighting people. He wasn't screaming. He wasn't running away. And like his parents, they were really like, when we bring him home, his siblings are not going to know who he is, because
Oh.
that's how much he changed in just a couple of days, because he was just so tense and dysregulated, and it
Mm.
was showing up in these behaviors. And I was just like, oh my gosh, that is amazing that like these couple of sessions completely changed the way this child was, to the point where his parents were like, his siblings aren't going to know who he is.
Wow.
And yeah, that just like super convinced me that this whole entire modality was just amazing and something that I needed to start practicing right away.
Yeah, I mean, what a beautiful tool and like gift to give that child. Obviously, he felt way better, and to give that family and those parents, right? Like, I'm sure I don't have my own children, but I'm sure I could imagine that it's extremely stressful to watch your child like either misbehave and you like don't know why, or they're feeling like upset or anxious or angry or whatever, and you're like, I don't know what else to do. And then same with his siblings, right?
Mhm.
If he's like picking fights with them or whatever, like just what a gift to give that entire family of like such a reset for all of them.
Oh yeah, it was the coolest thing in a training, honestly, that I have ever witnessed. Like the amount of times that I have told that story to people is a lot exponentially. Just because it was like such a profound thing to witness and like
Mm,
be a part of, and it was just like, oh, it was so amazing. It was like the most amazing thing that I have personally ever gone through, and like just really really convinced me that like, one, I needed to do this for my own kids with their
yeah.
regulations, and also just like bring this more widespread to like the South Carolina area, because there's not many people who provide CFT,
Mm.
especially for children. And so, yeah, it really, I would say it probably really changed the trajectory of my whole like philosophy and body work practice. Um, that's how profound it was.
Wow. Yeah. So all you parents listening, if your child is having trouble, like this could be a really great tool for you.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, definitely. And yeah, I've had such meaningful and great results from CFT just in so many people that, yeah, everyone should experience it at least once.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, like kids don't really have the vocabulary or the awareness maybe to say, "Oh, I'm feeling anxious," or "Oh, my nervous system's feeling dysregulated," or whatever like adults do. So, what a great
Mm-hmm.
option for them to like you might not even know how much better they can feel or how much calmer they could be without a tool like this. If you've been feeling wired but tired, overwhelmed for no clear reason, or like your body just can't quite seem to settle, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not broken. Your nervous system might just need support getting reorganized. And that's why we created the Back to Baseline bundle. For just $300, you'll get a 75-minute one-on-one Health by Haven health coaching session with me, where we'll discuss what's really going on in your day-to-day life, your stress, your habits, your nutrition, and start sustainably building a path back to feeling like yourself again. Then you'll continue that work in your body with a 60-minute CFT session at Avodah Massage Therapy. This isn't just massage, it's focused, intentional work designed to help your nervous system slow down, release stored tension, and reorganize into a more regulated, grounded state. Because healing isn't just about pushing through, it's about creating safety in your body again. If you're ready to feel more like you, steady, clear, and connected, the Back to Baseline bundle is here for you. Learn more and register for your session through the link in this podcast episode description or over on Instagram, links in the bio of @HealthByHaven.
Exactly. And a lot of times, like, it's honestly like the kids that I see, parents are like at the end of their ropes. They like don't know what to do. They don't want to like have to medicate their child forever. They don't like want to try more invasive interventions. And yeah, like if I never promise results because
Mm,
everybody is different, and I don't know like the underlying causes
mm,
of what these symptoms are telling,
mm-hmm.
because I just don't have as extensive medical training as probably more like a lot more doctors and everything do than me. But I do say like, hey, like let's just come in and try once,
Mm-hmm.
see what happens, and then like and just look for little changes. I never am going to say that it's going to be like like 180 total
Yeah.
transformation, because that's literally insane. This has been probably building up for years. Like the only fastest transformation that you'll see is in infants, because they don't have years and years and years and years and years of attention.
Yep.
But I tell parents, like, just look for like little changes. Maybe they're sleeping a little better. Maybe it takes you less time to put them to bed. Maybe they are a little bit calmer. They spend less time screaming. Maybe they have a happier or easier day. Their mood is altered to be a calmer one. Maybe they start eating more. Or maybe they like try a little bit of a new food that day. You know, and it's just like little tiny changes, little tiny improvements that we're looking for to show that this is probably doing something, you know. And I always also get the question of like, well, what if they only want you to work on them for like a teensy tiny bit? All body work, any amount of body work is going to do some change. So I never like say like, hey, it has to be like, if you schedule a 30-minute session or a 45 or 60-minute session, it has to be that many minutes hands-on or nothing's going to happen. That's not true. Any amount of intentional touch and body work that these kids allow me to do is going to have an effect. And so it's not going to be not worth it if like your kid's like wanting to play or like not, or slow to warm up, and it takes a little while to like get them used to everything. It's not detrimental for that session to just have like maybe 5 minutes of hands-on time.
Okay.
Because any tiny amount of body work is going to create a change. And so, yeah, it's just so, to me, it's honestly so worth it. Because to see the results that I've seen, and to know that like there are parents out there who are like, they just don't know what to do, or they don't have like yet this like the skills to be able to do intentional touch or body work for their kids. Like, I just feel like it's worth it to try at least once. See what happens, see if it makes a little bit of change, and then go from there. And maybe also learn a little bit about intentional body work yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. And obviously you're helping release like physical tension from their bodies, but you're also helping regulate their nervous system, which, like you said, in all of those like slight little changes, it makes us more adaptable, right? Like it makes us open to new things. Things seem less overwhelming, like things seem less scary or anxious, like you're less anxious. So like that's such a good tool for people as well. But I do want to touch a little bit more on like the whole nervous system piece of it, right? Because I think when we think like body work, we think like physical body, and we're releasing like whatever. A lot of us have tension in our necks or our traps or shoulders, you know, things like that. But can you talk to people a little bit more about like what the nervous system side of it looks like, and like some changes you might feel or experience from that?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard to really pinpoint what exactly you're going to feel necessarily. Just because everybody's nervous system, like you're on a different, so like think of it as like a little window. And I know I'm doing like a physical thing, and people who are listening can't see it. So I've got my lower arm out and my arm parallel above that. And so there's like this window of optimal nervous system functioning. So it's where you're very regulated, and that's going to be in the middle of the two arms. And so when you dip below the bottom arm, that's when you're going into like nervous system kind of like dips into like, oh, kind of, that's when you feel like kind of like a depressive type of mindset, where everything feels just like hard and heavy and lethargic. So we dip below, and our brain just like has a hard time getting motivated to go into like that calmer state. And then we dip above the upper arm, that's when you get into like fight or flight, anxious, like very excitable, very easy to startle. And so what we're trying to do with the nervous system, and it's not necessarily bad to like dip low or high, because, you experience different things that are going to get you more excited or like to get you more like down. And that's okay. That's a normal human experience. But where we have dysfunction is when we can't come back up into the regulation. And so what we're trying to do with the nervous system is to get you back up, well, or down, depending on which side of the window you're on, to that regulated, calm state. And that's not where you're going to live forever, all the time, always, because life happens. But your adaptability, your ability to come back down or come back up and be in that regulated state and not stay on either extreme of that window, is where you want to be, is where we get good nervous system regulation, because you're able to adapt and not stay in that heightened or lowered state.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think like you said, we want to feel the range of human emotion. That's like what makes day to day interesting and everything. But how quickly can we come back to that baseline in the middle versus like if it's taking you days and days and days to pull out of the more like lethargic state, or like days and days and days of your like heightened anxiety? That's obviously where you're not going to have as good of a quality of life if you're always like stressed out or always like low and depressed. That makes sense. I like that visual.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like that's the best visual to like kind of describe how your nervous system goes. I actually learned that in a somatic experiencing class. And I was just like, you know what, snapshot, bring that, keep that in my pocket at all times. Cause like, that's the best way. And I'm like such a visual learner. To be able to describe kind of like how the range of what your nervous system feels, where you should be at, and how you can adapt to better get to that regulation.
Okay. Yep. I like that a lot. So you mentioned one other piece of CFT, and I'm curious like how much you do this, because obviously you said the guy who founded it was he a dentist? I'm sorry. I forgot. Periodontist. So like, is there like work on your jaw? Like, are you doing any of that, or is it mostly the other two parts of the modality?
So yeah, you can work intraorally.
Okay.
You can work on like different aspects of the mouth. I usually do that mostly with either people who have really bad jaw pain, and who are comfortable with it. Cause like a lot of times people are not comfortable with a stranger sticking their fingers in their mouth. And that's okay. Like you can work on the outside too, and it just be as effective as working inside. So I never push for anyone to receive intraoral work, because if you're not going to be comfortable, I cannot effectively do my job.
Yeah.
But a lot of times I do that more so with infants, especially if they're having like feeding difficulties. So I see a lot of tied infants, or infants who have like really bad latch, like it's not deep enough and it's causing mom pain. And it's just kind of like a bad situation overall, because now mom's in pain, and now every time baby goes to latch, she's like flinching and clenching up, and like that makes baby clench up. So yeah, I usually do a lot more intraoral work with infants, just because they're more receptive, because they love to experience the world through their mouths. So they're a lot more receptive to me getting in there and working their mouths, like trying to loosen up these restrictions that they have, than an adult is. But whenever anybody is open to it, that's when I do intraoral work.
Okay. And specifically for like jaw pain, TMJ for like adults.
Yeah, it could be jaw pain. It could be like maybe you had a lot of oral work and feeling residual like constriction from that. And maybe you have a lot of like scar tissue on your gums. Maybe you had a tongue tie release surgery, and so we're working on lessening that scar tissue on the tongue. So yeah, it could be a lot of things, a lot of different things. It really just depends on what they're experiencing and what they're open to.
Okay, makes sense. Now, I want to I don't know, debunk myths maybe or calm fears for any parents of young kids who are listening. Maybe they have an infant who's just like crying all the time and they're like, I want to help them, but like I don't know what's happening, you know? And I'm like
Mhm.
maybe interested in trying some of these things, but also knowing that oh my gosh, this is my little tiny baby, and I'm scared to have any body
Yeah.
work done on them because, like, what if something gets messed up or whatever? So, can you talk us down from that ledge?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the fears that I talk about with parents is like, is this going, because one of the things that most parents are hesitant about is like taking their baby to a chiropractor because they're
Yep.
like, well, they're adjusting their bones. That seems a little crazy. That seems scary. And what I reassure them is like, everything is super gentle. I'll even like take their hand or their wrist and be like, can I touch you? And then show them like what pressure of touch that I'm using. So anytime I'm working with an infant, the level of pressure that I'm using is just like the tug of the skin. So we're not going deep. We're not exacting like enough pressure for an adult
Mm-hmm.
because these have so many nerve endings in one little area that
Mm.
too much pressure is overstimulating for them. And so we're doing the opposite effect. So every single time it's very gentle. It's no more pressure than like the pull of the skin. So we're not trying to like get deep into the muscle tissue or anything. Everything that I do is usually on a table unless baby wants to be held.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's always going where they want to go. And if baby gets like really frustrated or upset, which releasing tension as an infant or a kid is a little scary because no one can kind of walk you through what you're feeling or what you're going through.
Mm.
So sometimes when babies cry, it's not because they're like, oh, ho, that really hurt, boohoo, that's upsetting. It's like they're like, that's a reaction to the release
Mm.
of the tension. But anytime like baby's like really upset, we always, I say I always give them back to mom, let them have a little like mom time, get them regulated. Maybe they want to nurse a little bit for comfort. Um, so yeah, it's very gentle, very child led, infant led. And also like if mom's comfortable, I can work on baby while she's breastfeeding.
Mm.
So I don't even have to leave her lap if
Yeah.
she doesn't want them to. And so yeah, it's never going to be anything that is rough or aggressive. It's
Mm-hmm.
always slow movements, very intentional. A lot of times it literally looks like I'm doing nothing because that's how slow it is. And I'm like, I promise I am doing things. I am not
Yeah.
holding your baby here for 30 minutes. So, yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Well, that I think is gonna help, like maybe ease some people's minds if they're like, yeah, kind of like you said. Oh my gosh, they're little tiny bodies. Like I'm just nervous
Mhm.
to like do something and break them. So,
Yeah.
okay. So what about? Are there like tools, techniques, things that people can be doing at home as well, whether it's like for themselves, for their
Mhm.
kids, for their infants, kind of like between sessions to help try to stay like loose and regulated?
Yeah. What I always tell people is movement. Always get in some really good movement because movement's going to help keep everything moving. The last thing that we want to do is, you go home and you just are like comatose for the rest of the day. Like, yes, you might feel tired or your body might feel like kind of weary because you're processing all of the tension that we just released.
Mm.
But I always encourage clients, like, if you're feeling that way, get some gentle exercise, like go for a little walk. Nothing too intense. You don't want to overwhelm yourself again. I always let people know, like, literally, you're not going to go work out after this. The whole entire training I was training for my marathon in Austin, and I was like, I'm going to go to the gym and run before this class. And literally after receiving this work every single day, I was like, I am so tired. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to go run at all. My body was like, if you run, we will die. So yes, gentle movement, going for a nice walk, Epsom salt baths, like things that are just very gentle, restorative, nothing too intense within like the first 24 to 48 hours. And then after that, like resume your normal activity level. But then if you can, try to remove any of the stressors that you've been holding on to in your life. A lot of times people can't because it's work.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to tell you to go quit your job because that's irresponsible.
Yeah.
But as much as you can, like trying to stay mindful of where your stress levels are if you can't remove completely those stressors that you've been experiencing, which have led to where your body's feeling at that time. So yeah, just being mindful of like where your nervous system's at, like what's triggering, like how you can regulate from that and things like that. So movement, removing stressors if you can. If not, being mindful of your nervous system state and not trying to overwhelm it or avoid any regulation.
Okay, that makes sense. And I feel like that's similar to other different modalities that work on your nervous system too, right? Like I go to acupuncture pretty frequently, and it's really hard for me because I go near Central Park. And so I want to go run in Central Park afterwards, but it's like absolutely not, maybe a gentle walk through the park, but like try to chill out, after that to like get the most benefits from the session. So that makes sense that it's similar for CFT as well. But actually, since you brought up running, you're going to get me on a running tangent. So Shannon and I are both runners, you guys know. So say someone asking for a friend, Shannon. Say someone is
Wink,
training.
wink.
Yeah. Say someone is training for a half marathon or a full marathon, like something where they're doing really intensive cardio and like it's hard on your body. It is. Even though obviously, it's beneficial, there's things that it can like wear on your body as well. When would you recommend then adding in something like CFT? Like, can you do that throughout your training on like a rest day? Do you benefit most from it like after a race? Like, what would you suggest?
I would say like if you're having like a hard time kind of like getting your body over those aches and pains that you're feeling while you're running, incorporating it into a rest day is going to be really beneficial. Just because if you do it on a run day, you are definitely not it's going to turn into a rest day.
Yeah.
So definitely like doing it on a rest day. I would say if you're feeling good during your training and your aches and pains are not becoming like chronic or you're not feeling like overwhelmed or stressed out from your training, that doing it post race is probably going to be most beneficial because it'll help you kind of like ease into that regulation after your race because you get like that huge high during your race, especially if it's like a major accomplishment. Like I know after my marathon, I like swung super low.
Yeah.
And I was just like all over the place emotionally. So like, yeah, especially if it's like a really big accomplishment, like you've really been building up to this race, like maybe it's a major marathon, maybe it's like the first time you've come back to running and you're just like on cloud nine, you're so excited and hyped about this. Maybe it's a race that you've always wanted to do and you finally got your lottery entry. I would say after it would be super beneficial, just like one, get your body back to where it's like feeling super comfortable. You've got you always see the people walking backwards down the stairs.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Brutal.
I know my legs feel it too. But then also like helps you not swing like super low after that high.
Oh.
Because you don't want to get into like a really deep kind of like emotionally depressive state. You want to get down back to that regulated state. So if you know that like after a huge event like that, you're kind of prone to like swinging down into a more like depressive state after a big event, then I would say it would be super beneficial to do that after your big race to just help with your nervous system regulation and get you back to like your nice steady middle of the road and not have like an emotional roller coaster ride for the next couple weeks.
So basically what you're saying is I can prevent the post-marathon blues by coming to you after my next race.
Yes.
Excellent. See you then.
We can feel a little sad, but we don't want to sink into the sadness.
Yeah, fair. It's real. It's real. Are you training for anything right now, Shannon?
I am tentatively training for a trail half that I did last year. That I'm hoping to do again this year. I've been, as I spoke about last time, kind of battling an injury from my car accident a year ago. So recovering from that has been going a lot better than I feel like I anticipated. And probably mostly because I allowed my body to finally rest.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of like, I haven't signed up for it yet because I'm being cautiously optimistic. But that is my goal, to get to that race and just have a lot of fun with it. I had so much fun last year, even though the course map that they published was backwards. So
so wild.
Yes, there was a huge elevation. I thought we'd already done the elevation. And so I'm like, the last half of this race is going to be so great. I'm like flying, feeling good. My stomach's cooperating with me, chugging down these nerds clusters. So fun. Then we get to mile 9, turn the corner. I look up and it's just straight up. And it turns out we had not done the huge elevation. And that was a little depressing. But
honestly, illegal. Whoever did that, come on.
I know. I was like really frustrated, but then I was like, I'm just going to finish this race and it'll be fine. It was a lovely race. I loved, like, I got to visit Spartanburg, which I hadn't visited before. It's a cute little town. I got to, it's a Palmetto trail race series. So I got to run the half marathon, which I hadn't run that one before. I'd done like the 5K and the 10K of the series. And there's just something about running in the woods that's just so centering and magical. Like, I'm reading this book about alternative, like, social prescribing. That's what it's called.
Okay.
About social prescribing, and it's talking about forest bathing. And I was like, I feel like, yeah, I do that in the woods whenever I go run. I'm kind of like forest bathing, like out in nature. Like, does it jump scare me a little bit sometimes with like a snake here or there? But for the most part, it's a lot of fun and just so like your mind's engaged the entire time, which is way different than a road race where you're just like, pounding the pavement. I mean, sometimes if you haven't been to a place before, you're kind of like looking around at the sites, seeing what's going on. And that's really exciting. But I like how trail racing kind of just engages your mind the entire time because you're like, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall.
That's where you and I differ, because I would be face to the ground about 10,000 times during that race, I think.
Oh, yeah. I have totally like eaten dirt a bunch of times. But at the same time, it's just like you just pop back up and you're like, it's fun. And then at the end, someone's like, you're bleeding. And you're like, I didn't feel it.
That was the cloud 9 that you were on from all the endorphins. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Was there blood in my shoe? Yes.
Oh gosh. And this is when we go to CFT afterwards.
Yes.
It all ties back.
It does. It does.
Okay. Before we go, I want to make sure we've like covered everything on CFT so that people feel educated and they know exactly what to expect and what what they can benefit from in one of these sessions. But if there's anything we've left out or anything where you're like, if people don't remember anything from this conversation except this one thing, I want to make sure they remember it.
If you feel like you have done all the things and you just cannot find an answer, give CFT a try. Like, it's not, if anything, nothing's going to happen. And maybe you walk away feeling like a little bit sleepier, or you take a good nap. And, you know, that's better, like trying something than not trying it at all. But also, one last thing that I want to plug is there is a CFT directory that you can go online and search in your area for a CFT practitioner.
We can put it in the show notes.
But yeah, if you want to try out CFT, the CFT directory has people who have taken the CFT training from Holly and Kim. And they work directly with Dr. Barry Gillespie. And yeah, they're amazing. Can't say enough good things about them. But yeah, these are all the people who have taken like the certified CFT training and are part of their directory. And there's like a whole huge network across the country. It's amazing. They're like doing amazing work. But yeah, if you're looking for a CFT practitioner in your area, and you can sort them by people who only work with adults or people who have also done the infant training and will work with infants as well. So yeah, CFT directory, look it up, give it a try, and see what it does for you. See if there's any little changes in your life that it contributes to.
I love it because we could always use more tools in our toolbox to help regulate our nervous systems in this crazy, crazy world that we live in.
Exactly. And like the benefits from just one session, it doesn't stop after that session. Like it continues to go on once you've left the table and you've left the office, which is why I love it. Like, because it has long lasting results after as well. And yeah, sometimes you don't get that as much with other modalities. So yeah, I love the long lasting results as well.
Definitely. And for people who are in the South Carolina area or they want to come and travel to you, how can they see you for CFT?
So you can see me at either our Columbia or Lexington locations. And you can book with me at AvodahMassageTherapy.com. That's AVODAH massagetherapy.com. And under Craniosacral Fascial Therapy category, you could choose to either come in for yourself or come in or have your child come in. Or I do family sessions where everybody can come in and get CFT all at once, and we just have like a big, fun bodywork party.
Beautiful. I love it. Well, Shannon, it was so great to get to catch up with you. Thank you for teaching us all about CFT and how we can all feel better every day. And I just can't wait to get this into everybody's ears. So thank you.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Health by Haven podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to give the show a 5-star rating and leave a review. It makes such a huge difference in reaching new people and spreading the joy of healthy living. I would also be so appreciative if you subscribe to the show in the listening app of your choice so you never miss an episode. Your support truly means the world to me. Have a happy, healthy day, and I'll talk to you again soon.